Jonah, when anger at God feels righteous. Jonah was a prophet who knew God well. When God told him to go to Nineveh, a violent enemy city, Jonah refused. He didn't argue. He ran. Jonah boarded a ship going the opposite direction, believing distance could protect him from a command that felt morally wrong. Nineveh terrified Jonah. Its people were cruel and undeserving. Jonah didn't want them warned. He didn't want them spared. Obedience felt like betrayal. Running felt justified. But fleeing God's call did not bring relief. It carried Jonah deeper into isolation and unrest. A violent storm rose at sea. Sailors panicked and cried out to their gods. Cargo was thrown overboard. Still, the storm worsened. Jonah slept below deck, withdrawn, disconnected, untouched by the chaos above, even though he was its cause. The sailors woke Jonah and cast lots. The lot fell on him. Jonah admitted the truth. I worship the Lord, the God of heaven. This storm is because of me. He told them to throw him into the sea. He offered himself as the solution. The sailors resisted at first, but the sea grew more violent. They prayed and threw Jonah overboard. The storm stopped instantly. The sea became calm. The sailors feared the Lord and worshipped him. Jonah disappeared beneath the water, silent and alone. God did not let Jonah drown. A great fish swallowed him. For 3 days and nights, Jonah sat in darkness. There was no escape, no control, no distraction. At the bottom of his resistance, Jonah finally prayed, not confidently, but desperately. From inside the fish, Jonah admitted his helplessness. Even there, God heard him. Mercy reached Jonah before obedience did. When Jonah turned back to God, the fish released him onto dry land. Jonah lived, not because he was right, but because God is merciful. God spoke again. The command had not changed. Go to Nineveh. This time, Jonah obeyed. He warned the city of coming judgment. The message was brief and unembellished. Yet the people listened. Something Jonah never expected began to happen. Nineveh repented. From the king to the poorest citizen, they turned from violence. They fasted and humbled themselves. When God saw their repentance, he showed mercy. The city was spared. What Jonah feared most had come true. Jonah was furious. He sat outside the city and prayed angrily. "This is why I ran," he said. "I knew you are gracious and compassionate. Now, Lord, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live." His anger had become despair. God asked gently, "Is it right for you to be angry?" Later, Jonah repeated, "I am angry enough to die." God caused a plant to grow, then wither. Jonah mourned the plant deeply. God exposed Jonah's pain, not to shame him, but to question it. Jonah's story ends with God's question, not Jonah's answer. It speaks to those whose anger feels righteous, whose resentment hardens into despair. Sometimes our theology becomes too small for God's mercy. His compassion reaches beyond our comfort, even when we no longer want to live. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals? Jonah chapter 4, verse 11.